Good morning, everybody. Charlie here with Red Summit RF. Today we're going to do another activation. This time I'm out at Saguaro Lake, which is a great recreation area for people who want to play in the water. I'm on the trail already. I'm parked kind of over the little ridge there in that area, probably about a quarter mile. But here's what we have. We're walking in through on the trail here through a little alcove, and the main lake is out this way. I'll be doing a peek kind of over on the other side of this one here. It takes about 2 miles to get to. So when we get up there, I will be talking a little bit about the Xiegu, I think that's how you pronounce it, Xiegu, whatever it is, X6100. Thanks to Radioddity for lending me their loaner radio. So let's go. My plan is to do a few activations with that radio, primarily Morse code CW, and kind of push it to the limit as far as activating a couple hours on it and see what we can do. So more to come as we get closer. Okay guys, I'm finally getting my first real look at this summit that I want to get up on, and my plans may change a little bit. So I'm on this trail. The trail is 2 miles into the point where I jump off and do some bushwhacking, and I'm looking from here at this summit, and it looks like I was just gonna go right up the side of it, but that may be not a good idea. I might have to scoot over to this side and go up the ridge line. I checked the place. One of the places that I usually check is Hike Arizona. A lot of people do hikes in Arizona and post them there. No information on route finding up to the top of that. And then also I of course checked the SOTA website. There was one person who left some information, but it was nothing. There were no route finding information on there, so I'm pretty much left to myself to kind of figure the route up to the top. This is one of the challenges and fun things most of the time about summits on the air is this adventure. All you got to worry about is not getting yourself cliffed in where you have to backtrack or put yourself in a position where you're in danger. But I don't know, as I get a little closer, I'll take a look. I did use a app that I like called Fat Map, and it's similar to Google Earth, but you put it on your phone and it helps you kind of plan the terrain a little bit. And I used that last night to kind of pick my route. But like I said, it looks like that's the thing, when you plan a route, once you lay eyes on it, then sometimes your plans must change, because there's no real way to figure it out until you're right there at the base. So we'll see what happens. When I get a little closer, I'll make an assessment and determine what way I'm going to go up. So we'll let you know. Stay tuned. My heart is beating fast, and it's not because of the exercise. There was a snake in the middle of the trail. Didn't get a chance to get it with video. but I always have to worry about rattlesnakes. It was out there in the middle of the trail sunning. It was just a gardener snake or something that was harmless, but when you see something on the trail like that, it gets your heart racing right at first. Whew. All right, so I have a plan. I was gonna go right up just to the right of, just to the left of that boulder, which doesn't look like the best bet. Another option might be go over this way and then work my way up the ridgeline, but I think that the trail kind of goes up here and up onto this area. I think it's gonna be okay to go up the ridgeline that way, from left to right up to the top. Up at the top you can see a bunch of rocks. I think I'll try to see if we can scoot around those on this side of the mountain and then cut back. So we'll go up the ridgeline and all the way over and then back. So hope that makes sense. Maybe I can put something up, a little drawing or illustration or image to show you what I'm gonna do. But of course I'll have the GPS tracks to show you my route after the fact. But let's go tackle this. Okay, so now I'm just bushwhacking my way to a point where I can catch the ridge, which should be over in here somewhere, I guess. So just picking my way through all the prickly things. Well, right now that looks pretty ominous. That's the destination, a high point right up there. Like I said, we got to wrap around the backside and then back up to that point. So we're going to take the ridgeline here and go up over that way. See how that goes. I had to put my sun hat and a long sleeve shirt on. Sun's really getting hot. Temperature isn't bad. Temperature's in the probably not even 70 or maybe just barely 70, but that sun is really hitting on my skin, and I have sunblock on, but I need to do the shirt because it's I can feel I'm gonna get sunburned still. So on we go up to the top here. We're getting there. Well, it looks pretty daunting, but really all we got to do, I think, is go on this left side of this big outcropping, and then we can cut back and we should get it. Here's the other half of the lake out that way. We'll get a good panoramic view here once we get to the top. So I just kind of work my way up into there and hope I don't get cliffed in. Got to be careful here of loose rock falling out from underneath my feet. So got to take it slow and steady up this thing. This is it. We made it. Looks like the lake is filling up a bit. The little rock out there in the middle of the lake is called Shiprock. Okay, I'm gonna sit down, catch my breath, and after I do that, I'll go ahead and start calling CQ on 2 meters. See if I can get that first. I need to make an assessment on how to set up my antenna. It's a kind of a tight fit along here. That right there looks like a drop off either way. I don't really feel like I want to walk along that ridge line there. It looks a little precarious. don't want to mess around with that. Maybe well, I don't know. I'll figure it out. CQ SOTA, November Juliet, 7 Victor. Good morning, Mitch, NK3H, November Juliet, 7 Victor, 5-9. I'm overlooking Saguaro Lake on a numbered peak. Okay, thanks for that. 73. Well, guys, I tried 2 meters. I only got 1 contact. I heard 4 others in there, but they couldn't hear me. And I even switched to the Pactena, and I got it up a little higher, but that still didn't help. So there must be something blocking off in that direction, so I can't work these guys. I got kind of a mess in this bag as I was trying to shuffle for the 2 meter stuff, my lunch, if it's gonna be good by the time I eat it, and it's my inline recorder, Bioeno battery, and then here's a gear tie to tie antenna mast, my 2 meter antenna radio, and here's the stuff for the Pactena Trek mount, my hat, and my clipboard. Now the good stuff. So I've got 2 of these Osprey bags. Oh, there's a feed line in there too. So I really like these Osprey bags. They're padded, and I'll put in the notes where I got them. And but this one in here, this is the radio I put in this one, and then in this one I have a bunch of the peripherals and other stuff like the mic, and here's the antenna. I hope it's this one here. Yeah, there's the antenna. I'm going to do the end-fed half wave again, and I will get that set up right here. I have a tendency to say the wrong thing. I think I said this was an end-fed half wave, and it is not. This is the random wire. Maybe I did say random wire. I can't remember, but I have a tendency on these videos to say the wrong thing all the time because I'm kind of only half paying attention. So anyway, I'm going to get this random wire set up. I'm going to hang it from here, hoist this up, and then walk over there and set up. So let's do that next. Here it is, the Xiegu X6100. I need to tune it here in a minute, but it's kind of hard to see in the sun. But I just wanted to mention a few things about this, and maybe I'll have to, you know, re-record some of this in the house and to show you better. But the weight of this I felt was pretty heavy when I got it, but and I thought it was going to be heavier than the FT817, but it turns out it was 924 grams, while this X61 was 843, and that was without any peripherals on either one. So the Xiegу's definitely lighter, which is great, lighter than the FT817. As far as settings go, first of all, I just wanted to say that I'm not going into any great depth about this radio. My whole goal is to see how well I can use it in the field, and if it has all the things that I need for activation in the field. I don't need any of the extra bells and whistles, and I'm not even going to bother with those. So let's see here. One of the first things you're going to need is the frequency, so that you can change the frequency here with this big knob. And if you want to change where it hits on these numbers here, you got to go to FST up here on the top, right there, and then it moves it so you can have a more precise setting of frequency. It allows for 30 meter sideband. I tried that, and it actually does allow for that, which is prohibited, so I'm not sure why they allowed that one. Also, it doesn't channelize 60 meters. It's really convenient to have that channelized so you don't get outside of the allocated frequency that you're supposed to use. The A and B bands on the top right here, you can switch between A and B bands right here on the top. But the problem with that is it doesn't store those frequencies once you I always like to use the A band for CW and the B band for sideband, and I can just switch back and forth and not have to dial all the way through the band. But it doesn't keep those frequencies. Once you move off of them, then it doesn't save them. So I guess I can't use A, B band for the purposes that I wanted it for. So one of the first things is setting the power. That's under general settings, and it's under setting 1, and then you just go to the TX power and change that. The next thing is the earbuds. You got to make sure that those are set, and that's SP mode under general settings, under the radio settings 1 as well. External battery use, you got to make sure that the charging feature is off, so that's under general and radio setting 1, and then you click on charger and you turn that off. The paddle, I like mine on auto right. That's how I use mine. I think that's pretty much the standard, so if it's in something else, probably need to change that to auto right. That's done by clicking on the key on the left, the key button, and then underneath key type, you can just adjust that. CW speed is also key on the button on the right, and then key speed, and you can just adjust the speed there. And then every once in a while it might be good to use an SWR sweep, and so that's under the APP button, and then do the scan. But those are really all the buttons and features that I need for this activation, other than pushing on the ATU button and getting it tuned up. So with that, let's just go ahead and get activated, and we'll make an evaluation when we're done.
India 5, Mike Foxtrot, Foxtrot.
Good morning, Kilo India 5, Mike Foxtrot, Foxtrot. You are 5'9" in Arizona.
I think I copied a 5'5". You're about a 4'3", in New Mexico.
Okay, yeah, thanks for New Mexico. Yeah, it's a 59, 59, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
QSL to 5'9", that's crazy. Alright, thanks for the contact and thanks for hopping up that mountain and for activating. 73, have a great day.
73, November Juliet 7 Victor, QRZ. CQ, 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 CQ SOTA, CQ SOTA, November Juliet 7 Victor calling CQ. CQ, CQ, CQ SOTA, CQ SOTA, November Juliet 7 Victor calling CQ.
Kilo 6, Hotel Zulu Radio.
Hey there, Jose. Kilo 6 Hotel Zulu Radio. I got you on sideband at 5959.
QSL, thank you for the 5'9", Red. You are 5'7", 57 over here in Los Angeles, QSL.
Yeah, QSL. Thank you so much, Jose, for coming back to me and getting me on both sideband and CW. Appreciate it.
QSL, I just saw the opportunity to have our first voice contact. 73, Charlie.
Okay, yeah, 73 to you. November Juliet 7 Victor, QRZ. CQ, 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 CQ SOTA, CQ SOTA, November Juliet 7 Victor, November Juliet 7 Victor calling CQ. Did I get here Dan in there, KC7MSU?
Kilowatt Charlie 7, Mike to your uniform. You're about a 2222 in Chandler, Charlie.
Roger, Roger. QSL, you are a 5'9", 59, over.
Thanks for the 5 and 9, Charlie. 73, have a good day.
Thank you, Dan. 73. CQ, Summits on the air, November Juliet 7 Victor, QRZ.
Kilo 3, Golf X-Ray.
Kilo 3, Golf X-Ray. Hey there, David. You're 5'9".
Sounds great, Charlie. You're about a 5'5" here at California,
QSL, thank you for the 55. 73. November Juliet 7 Victor, QRZ. November Sierra 7 Papa, you are 55. Okay, copy 56. Thank you. 73.
Alpha Bravo 6 Delta.
Okay, hold on a minute. Alpha Bravo station. I got I got a malfunction here. Be right with you. Alpha, tell me your call sign one more time.
Alpha Bravo 6 Delta.
Okay, Alpha Bravo 6 Delta 59.
Copy the 5'9", you're 3x3.
Yep, got it. 3x3. Thank you. Guess what I'm doing on top of the summit here? Check it. Ham Radio Live. Larry there. All things stop for Ham Radio Live. We'll catch you in a minute. All right, guys. I have wrapped it up. I'm packed up, and I have taken down my antenna, put the Xiegu X6100 away. I'm gonna not say too much about the 6100 until I get home and I'm able to collect my thoughts a little bit. So I'll insert a little video right after this to kind of talk a little bit about it. I also need to do that anyway because there's some, it was just too bright to show you some of the menu items. So I'll go over some of the main menu items that I used in the this activation and that I needed. And I'll go over some of my first impressions about the radio after a full activation. I will say that Sandy and I had an activation a week ago where we did a quick activation on a summit that had commercial towers. It did have intermod and front end overload on it, so that wasn't good. The mic, or not the mic, the speaker, not that good a quality. We couldn't really hear that well, especially with the wind blowing. So that was the previous activation. For this one, I think the main thing that I'm concerned about is the overheating. It works just fine with CW. I had no problems with it, but I will say that I couldn't even touch the radio because it was so hot after an hour and a half of working Morse code. Now I had my hat over the top of the radio, but still, to protect it from the sun, but still it was just extremely hot. And you know, it's only 75 degrees right now. I mean, it is Arizona, but it shouldn't be that hot, not at all. So that's a concern. But anyway, what I'll do is I'll collect my thoughts, and I'll have a more thorough explanation of what I did on this activation and what I liked about the radio and what I didn't coming up here next. Coming to you from home now for a minute, here is the good and the bad after 2 SOTA activations. So the good, first of all, is the internal tuner. You click this ATU button to tune. It's a convenient feature to have in a QRP radio. I wish more QRP radios had it. And it's really convenient to not have to carry an extra tuner along or to mess with links on the dipole. Next thing is the internal battery, which it contains. And I really had my doubts about the battery, but it lasts longer than I expected. And I think it'd be good for 2 or 3 average SOTA activations using CW. If you look at the battery here, it's only depleted a little bit, and this is after that activation I just did. So I did use an external battery for the sideband, but I'd say an hour and a half worth of work, and that's what you get right there. The weight is another positive. My FT817 weighs more, even with the internal battery in this radio and also with the tuner. So definitely weight is a plus. I also like the ability to have 10 watts. It's really nice to bump up 10 watts for sideband, and it really makes a difference. So I like that it has 10 watts. And then the ability to have an external power source, which I just mentioned, it's a must for me. Some excursions will eat up a lot of internal battery, and so you definitely need to have the external battery. So that's the good and what I like about this radio. Now to the bad. The screen here it was really hard to see in the sun, even after I cranked up the backlighting to as bright as it could be. It's very reflective here, and you can actually see, you know, my hand here and the reflection and stuff. It's just something I don't like. A lot of the older radios and even some of the newer ones don't have this problem. So the volume also is not high enough. If you crank it all the way up, you'll still not sometimes be able to hear very well out of the speaker. So, and I know that some people have said that this is a problem, and I would agree. The speaker actually is pretty poor too. I have on that last activation, I had the volume all the way to max, and the speaker was starting to distort a little bit. And I mean, so you have the volume all the way up, you have the speaker not functioning properly at that high volume, and it's still not enough to hear in some cases. Front-end overload is also a problem with this radio. It definitely has front-end overload. We experienced it with our last activation we did, and so it's a problem. Also, there's spurs or birdies in several of the bands. Other people have observed this, and they weren't quite sure where they were coming from and if it was a problem or not. But hey, I was on top of a peak, out in the middle of nowhere. There should have been no interference at all. My cell phone was far away from the radio. There were no electronics around, and yet as I was tuning around the band, especially on 40 meters, but also some of the others, there were birdies or spurs that were just there that it were obviously generated internally. Another issue with this radio is that it overheats, especially here on the backside. When I was operating, it was in the sun, so I did that for just a short time, and then I ended up covering this with a hat to make sure I could protect it a little bit. The temperature maxed out on the summit at about 75 degrees, but yet when I went to go put this away, I could not even touch it. I had to kind of touch along the edges here, especially on the backside. It was so hot, I was actually afraid it might actually burn something when I put it in the bag. So it's a real issue there. I'll try another operation in cooler temperatures and hopefully in the shade and see if I can confirm this. And I'm not even sure if it's something that might have to do specifically with using sideband with the external battery or CW, but definitely there was a problem there. A few other things is the AB bands are not working. I can't switch back and forth. You know, you can switch back and forth, I should say. But when you do, it doesn't keep the frequency and the mode especially. It's just, you know, something that probably can be fixed with the software update. And the last thing I'd mention that it's just kind of me, maybe more than a real bad thing about the radio, but I'm going to scoot this up here real quick and bring the mic in. So if you see right here, you can see that this pin right here remove the mic cord is, I can't actually get this mic out without getting some sort of a pencil or something to push that pin down and pull it out. In the field, this is a real problem because I like to pack everything away, and part of that is removing the cord or the cable from the mic. So, you know, I guess not a deal breaker for a lot of people, but it just really bothers me. And the last thing is how this feels, this PTT, how it feels. It feels like the switch inside there is really cheap. So I don't like that either, but those two things are just maybe minor. All right, guys, that does it. I hope you enjoyed my comments and this activation. Please come on back again and catch another activation, and if you have an opportunity, visit the channel again. I appreciate all your support, and so we'll catch you on the next one. I'll do another activation with the Xiegu X6100 again at some point. I do want to thank Radioddity for lending me this radio, and I should have it for, I don't know, another couple weeks, and then I'll probably have to send it on to the next person. But I'll say 73 to you for now, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.